Et juste le temps que Shlomo s'installe, je voulais rappeler qu'il a eu la plus haute distinction de la chirurgie, à savoir la médaille Ambroise Paré. C'était il y a quelques années, je crois que c'était en 2022 qu'il a eu la médaille de l'Académie nationale de chirurgie.
C'est le contact. Okay. Okay. How do I change the slides? Okay. Good afternoon, Mr. President, member, member of the member of this prestigious society, uh, uh, honorable guest. It's a, it's a very honor for me, and I'm excited. And thank you for inviting me to tell you, to share with you some knowledge uh, about surgery of breast in Israel. I would speak about breast cancer in Israel is the most common cancer among Israeli women. It's around 5,000 new cases every year, and the incidence is not changed over the last 5 years. What is changing now is the incidence of non-invasive breast cancer, which is rising all the time. And this is due to screening. I will speak about genetic preventive surgery accreditation and fellowship training. And as you know, in Israel, the mutation of BRCA in Ashkenazi Jewish is very common. It's 1 out of every 40 is a carrier, which is about 2.5%. And we compare this to the Western world and US, where then is 1 to 800. So BRCA carrier is a common in Israel. You can see here the three Jewish Ashkenazi mutation on BRCA1 and BRCA2. But today we know this high prevalence is not only in Ashkenazi Jewish. Ashkenazi Jewish mean Jewish that came from Europe, but also in Jewish that came from Iraq and from Iran. And also we found some in the Yemenite Jewish, there are mutation. It's a lifetime risk of about 80% to develop breast cancer in BRCA1 patient and 50% in BRCA2 patient. There is a very high risk of ovarian cancer, a little higher in BRCA1, but also in BRCA2. And in Israel, when you have a patient that have ovarian cancer, 45% of them would be BRCA carriers. The same goes also for BRCA2, where we have also breast cancer in men with a very high risk, about 6%, and also pancreatic cancer in young adults. What we can do about it is in order to do risk reduction strategies, is surveillance with MRI starting at the age of 25, CA-125 and ultrasound. There is some chemo prevention with tamoxifen or aloxafen and surgery, prophylactic mastectomy, risk reduction mastectomy, and oophorectomy. In the beginning, risk reduction mastectomy was a complete mastectomy, including the nipple and the areola. A bilateral mastectomy reduced risk by 90%, and oophorectomy reduced breast cancer risk in 50% also. There is an improved survival in younger women with BRCA1 that was just published last month. So it's not only that there's no cancer, it's also an improved survival. In the United States, the uptake of breast reduction surgery in BRCA patient is 36%, was at least. In Israel, it was 4%. And the reason are very cultural and systemic differences. So we needed to do something about it. And it's not that we succeed. What succeeded is this May, Angelina Jolie that we could see here. She actually brought a new surgery, which is the nipple-sparing mastectomy, which was starting, preserving the nipple and the areolar complex with oncological safety that demonstrated in selected patients. It improved cosmetic outcome and psychological well-being. And Angelina Jolie disclosure in 2013 increased awareness of BRCA testing and preventive surgery. But not only this, that more women came to be tested. This also resulted in a higher uptake of genetic consulting and earlier preventing measures worldwide. In Israel, in a late study that was done 2 years ago, of 170 women with no cancer history, 84, which is 14, almost 50%, had risk reduction bilateral salpingo-oophorectomy. 13 had risk reduction mastectomy, which is coming up and is still going up. And 5 out of 35 women with breast cancer which we opted for contralateral mastectomy. We know there were some challenges in Israel. We wanted to do an accreditation program, but the problem is that people didn't like people from outside, from abroad, to come and tell them what to do. So there was no national accreditation body that would rely on international auditions, and the preventive surgery uptake remains limited. We know that accreditation has a lot of benefits for the patient, highest quality standards, reduced delay in diagnosis and treatment, and emotional and psychological support. But to our chance, all Israeli hospitals underwent a difficult accreditation process by an American company. So people start to realize that accreditation have some advantage. The process resulted in perfectionism, better quality, and enhanced level of service and performance. And accreditation means better and more professional. So we started a CIS and ICIS Israel Serological Study joint accreditation to ensure universality and uniformity, a quality indicator across breast unit, and the dual accreditation process goes like this. First, an hospital breast unit is being designated, then the National Society, and then an international CIS auditor, and then we have a dual accreditation. And then you can see here, we receive a dual accreditation which gives a national recognition, marketing and competitive advantage, and also attracts qualified personnel. We have a challenge in Israel at the time. In the recent years, finding a fellowship position abroad has become more challenging. And at the same time, there has been a growing interest in breast surgery in Israel. The training aimed was to develop expertise in breast surgery and in comprehending the oncological treatment of breast cancer in which surgery is just one aspect of all the overall treatment. The program goals were to develop breast surgery expertise, to integrate oncological and oncoplastic technique, and to promote research and academic leadership. We made a national fellowship in oncological breast surgery. This was established by the Israel Ethnologic Society with rotation in oncology, imaging, pathology, and plastic surgery, and with a requirement of minimum surgery, research publications, and discussions. The surgery, which was lumpectomy, mastectomy, sentinel node, oncoplastic, and reconstructive procedures, in collaboration with plastic surgeons. In the first year, we had 3 candidates that completed. And next year, we had expansion to 5 centers across Israel. We increased national capacity, and in the second year, 5 candidates completed. Every candidate presented his work in the national meeting. This year, we have already 7 candidates, and I hope we would start with even more. The future direction is integration of genetic accreditation and training, enhancing surgical technique and oncoplastic, expanding Israel's role in global breast surgery standards. And I would like to thank you for your attention, and I will be happy to answer any questions. Yes, Tolga.
Yeah.
Can everybody hear me? Thank you for this perfect presentation, Dr. Schneebaum. One thing that you mentioned in 2013, Angelina Jolie, after she announced that she carries BRCA gene, she increased the awareness, but then something else also happened. The Supreme Court invalidated the patent for the genetic testing. Till then, only one company was running the genetic testing, and they were charging $3,000, $4,000 for one testing. After that, other companies came into the game, and then the charge of a testing dropped down to $200. And today, vast majority of the insurance companies cover it completely. So that significantly increased genetic testing numbers in the United States. Now, with that, I would like to ask you, in Israel, how much of the prophylactic mastectomy is covered? How much do they have to pay? Because I know, for example, when I discussed this with my colleagues from China, from Korea, they're not covered, if I'm not mistaken, prophylactic mastectomies. How is it in Israel?
Okay, the Israel situation, I will go step by step. About the test, it was this company that did about the test, this company that did the PRCA testing. In Israel, we started to do it by ourselves, and there was some agreement that they would not say anything. And at that time, we did 3 mutations, the 3 Jewish mutations, Ashkenazi Jewish. And now we are doing all the mutation, and it's being covered. Now, in Israel, we have national insurance, and if you do this surgery in a hospital, it's being covered. I personally, I was head of the breast bigger clinic in Israel, and I actually put 3 plastic surgeons in my unit. And when we started with the BRCA, it's a long story. I went to the government, and the issue was with the MRI at that time. So I convinced them to buy more MRIs for breast cancer. And also we had several TV interviews about the need of plastic surgery in time of surgery. So people are doing it. If they do it in private hospitals, then they have to pay, but they can do it in a general hospital, and it's being paid.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. Just adding one thing for Tolga's statement. When I start practicing in the United States, before the court and government pushed the insurance companies and other companies, there was a discrimination. When we offer the patients for the genetic testing, if their genetic test comes back positive, their companies were firing them. So that was a reason most of the patients in 1996, like 2000, 2004, they were not up to go to and get the genetic testing. I'm not sure, is there anything like in your country? But this is one thing they said, we cannot discriminate anybody. And now no company has a right to go back to patients' file for genetic testing. So that's why another reason the United States is more and more we are testing, and we are doing more and more bilateral mastectomies, and also everything is covered. My question is your fellowship program. So in Israel, you have national fellowship program right now. Is it accepted by Israeli government?
Yes.
Is it like a officialist?
Yes.
They can get a job as a breast surgeon.
Yes. I would go first. Okay. First, what you said in the beginning, what you told us about the insurance, is one of the reasons that people were afraid to do it, in order to, and the uptake even of this was low. According to the law in the Israeli government, you also cannot discriminate because of this. But in Israel, there are other problems. The very religious people, if they found out that you have a genetic problem, you are a bad matchmaking. You see, so it's amazing because it looks like all time, but that's we are speaking about a very small percentage of the people in Israel. They're very, very religious. There, if somebody have cancer, or if they found somebody that have a mutation, then it's a big sheet. And I operated on to tell about it. I operated on a patient, and I was sure that she has a BRCA mutation. And I came to her and I said, your daughter needs to be examined. And she said, no, I'm not going to be examined, and my daughter are not going to be examined, because then there is a baby. But then I told her, but you need to have your ovary removed. So she went to a rabbi, and the rabbi said, if that's what he says, you remove your ovaries, but don't do the test. So she didn't do the test. So, okay. You're next. You spoke about. Okay, the program. In order to, the reason we are so proud about our fellowship program, I went to the government, to the Israeli Surgical Association, and I got an approval for this program. So this is like you are a surgery, and you get a license to be a surgeon. Now everyone who goes through the program, it's approved by Israel Cancer and Medical Association and Israel Medical Health, and he's a breast surgeon.
Congratulations, Shlomo. Thank you very much.